Good evening, everyone. I'm Nathan, here with my wonderful wife, Laura.
Hello.
And we're here to do a quick review of Monopoly, the AFL Edition.
Well, one of them anyway.
Yes, so I think there's at least 3 AFL Monopolies. There's an original blue box, this one, and they've recently just re-released it. As far as I'm aware, they all play pretty similar, so this is the middle one.
This is the one we have, so this is the one we're taking a look at. Now, this is AFL football, what we call football here in Australia. So if you're watching from overseas, this is probably not your sort of football.
No, the football you're thinking of is soccer, which we call soccer here, but it's called football otherwise. It's a bit of a confusing sort of mess.
This is AFL, or Aussie rules, so that's what this is based on, and all the different sort of teams and things.
So it's fairly up to date. I mean, you've got like the Suns, the Giants and all that, which are sort of newer teams in the whole scheme of things. So let's dig into it. I will preface this by saying it plays exactly the same as regular Monopoly.
Yes. This is just one of those ones where they change the things on the board, the cards, etc. So we will not have a copy of the instructions down below because it's Monopoly. So
the only thing different in there is that they've got a couple of pictures of like the
pieces
yes.
and things like that. And it's got like the different names of houses and hotels and such, which we will get to.
Yeah, which are called clubs, stadia and medals. But we will get to that, as Laura said.
Yes. Alright, so underneath here we have a very yellow image tray.
It is very yellow.
Alright, well how about we start with what's in place of the houses and hotels, for example. So we have some little blue, plastic stairs. Let's be honest, that's what they look
pretty much,
like.
do they actually say what they are in here?
Little stairs.
Let's see.
So these would be the houses.
Stands and stadiums. So there's stands.
So these are stands. I mean, they look like stairs, but sure.
So stands are in like the smaller ovals and things like that in the smaller grounds, where the stadiums are obviously the bigger
larger
grounds.
ones that they play in. These are pretty unique pieces. Like there's a hole through the middle, and there's little lines on here to signify like the different sections of the stadium. And on the outside, they kind of have
like the entrance gates.
Yeah, like the archways where you can enter. So pretty unique for Monopoly. A lot of them are like, I guess, more normal shaped buildings. Even when they're changed, they're still like,
it's not a hotel. It's a landscape hotel or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
We have a Monopoly sort of bag to keep all your pieces in, which I don't think they have in a lot of the newer ones these days.
Some of them do, some of them don't. This is the speed die that's included in some of the versions.
Which makes it a quicker game. You have 2 regular die. I believe we're missing 1 of the metal pieces.
Which is unfortunate.
I can't remember what they are. I did know what the missing one was, but...
Anyway, so the ones we do have
is an umpire whistle.
Yeah, it's not too bad, except it's got the copyright fairly big on there, and presumably you would sit it this way on the board. I guess you... Because that way doesn't look quite right.
Do they all have like copyright?
It's just so noticeable. I don't know, it bothers me.
I don't recall the moving pieces having copyrights on them, but then I don't take that much
This one doesn't seem to. So this is like
dust boot, like a football boot.
Again, there's quite a bit of detail on the front there, and no copyright. So I'd much prefer that to the whistle personally.
And we have the old Sharon or football in this case, which. I don't know if it's supposed to have a stand, but it's rounded, so it's not going to stay on the board very well.
No, it doesn't look like anything's come off the bottom, though.
So that's odd. Then we have, like, the cup at the end of the season.
Big trophy, yep.
Which is not going to want to... there we go. Which is also quite nicely detailed, too.
This next one, the last one that we have, is much larger, though. This is the
goalposts
posts at the end of the field.
It's not going to focus.
I don't know, I feel like having... that next to the shoe, say, on the board.
You can almost fit the shoe in there.
I was going to say, it really stands out. So, if you wanted to remember where your piece was, that'd be the one to go with.
I really wish I could remember what the last piece was, but there is supposed to be 1 extra.
Also, this one doesn't fit in the little containers very well.
Not without damaging the board.
No.
You have Monopoly money. It is bog standard. Nothing has changed.
Except for the little AFL logo.
But the colours, denominations, that is all the same.
Yep. Alright, so then we have our cards over here. We should always separate these before we start.
I did.
We never do.
I did actually,
but I mean, completely separate.
Well, come on, that's a bit too much work.
There you go, those are the deed cards, if you want to start showing those.
So the deed cards. Yep.
Aside from the locations being different to match this particular version. Everything else you find on there is standard. So
It really doesn't.
the costs of your like stadiums and stands, how much someone has to pay, if they land on
Mortgaging.
you. Yep, the rent, all those kind of things. There's still the same like colour coding of the different properties.
So most of the properties are the clubs themselves. There's a couple here like the AFL Players Association, Toyota AFL Grand Final.
I don't know how you own a grand final.
I don't know
sure,
either.
Why not?
But most of them are the actual clubs. You know, Richmond, Collingwood, Hawthorn, Essendon. All
and so on. Now, instead of the
utilities.
yep,
They're metal. So you got the Coleman medal, and it's
the Brownlow.
It's the Brownlow medal.
Yep. So no electricity and waterworks here. Instead of the stations, we have ovals.
There's the Brownlow.
Yep. The other stations are in there somewhere. We'll show these on the
Sydney
board
Cricket
as well.
Ground, yeah.
Patterson Stadium.
And the other one I probably missed. Good for me.
Alright, so how about we do the board and then we'll leave those other cards till last.
Alright, the old board.
So it's one of the square boards that folds out sort of in four
I like those weird round
corners.
ones.
In the middle here, we've got a picture of a football match.
A football match in progress. It looks like Collingwood and Essendon are playing. Although the picture quality that they've put on there is not fantastic. It probably shows up better on camera, but as we're looking at it...
It's not the best. No. They were probably trying to go fairly generic, I imagine, with the background, so as not to favour anybody. The four corners are the same, as always, with this sort of Monopoly. We have our properties. The cards, you'll see in a minute, are away and home.
Instead of community chest and chance. Mm-hmm. And instead of taxes, you've got season membership and a grand final ticket. Still the same amounts you have to pay.
Yep. So there we go, past one of the stations, or in this case, cricket grounds. Ovals is what I was trying to say, but I was just reading it.
It is a cricket ground, it's just multiple sports are held there.
You can see they've got the logos on here as well. Coming through here. And the medals when on the utility ones there are shown. And a little picture of each stadium. I got it right that time, I didn't say cricket ground this time.
If I'm holding the board weird, it's because I'm trying not to burn myself in the lights.
Yes, well, don't do that.
Free parking as per standard.
Yep. Coming along here, again, same thing, all the logos, a little picture on each of the ovals.
The oval
there.
pictures look nicer because they're a lot less blown up in size.
They're also more specific. I mean, it's a photo of that particular stadium rather than the one in the middle, which, like I said, I feel is a bit more generic of a picture. All the way around, there's the last little tax replacement one with the grand final ticket, and back to go.
You know what would have been tough for the person or persons designing this? Which teams you put on what spots. So traditionally, like Mayfair and Park Lane, the two blue ones at the end, are the high-end, classy ones. Which is nice to put, like, the grand final and whatever the other one was. But, what do you put for the greens? How are the greens better than the,
I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. I'm sure someone was offended when they were put as the cheaper properties.
So you said home and away. Replace chance and community chest.
The cards on the back here are fairly similar. It's just the text in the middle and this aeroplane on the away one.
Could be easier to confuse.
I feel like they could have done more just to signify they were a bit more different. But that's just me.
So the pictures aren't any different. But the text is different, but the outcome is the same. So key sponsor fails to re-sign with your club, pay $100. Get out jail free.
Yep. They're always pretty standard.
You have won Mark of the Year. You have been suspended for 3 matches. You have won the Norm Smith Medal. So as you can see, they're all football terms. Your club's injury list grows, pay $50.
And you can always, maybe Nathan, you just flick through. You can always pause and kind
your
of
club
read
breaks
those.
its annual record. So yeah, there's quite a few. At least they changed the text on this one.
Yeah, some they don't, which is a little bit disappointing. We always like to see when they go that extra mile and change the pictures instead of just having Mr. Monopoly on there. But,
This is about mid-range, this particular set. They've changed some things, not others.
I would say they haven't changed that much, really. It's only a few necessities in the properties, which they change on pretty much every single one.
We've seen some ones where they don't even change the text on the chance and community chest, so...
So these ones, instead of,
Advance
nearest
to the
utility.
nearest unowned AFL medal, as you do in real life.
Of course, yeah. So again, you can always pause and read each one of these if you would like.
I like how every single
There's
one...
quite a few of those in there. And again, the images just sort of repeat as you go there as well.
Advance to Western Bulldogs, my favourite property.
This is not particularly my favourite version, but then I'm not a huge AFL fan, so it would stand to reason that this wouldn't be one that I
Look,
love.
I think this is a fair set if you're into AFL. Not the worst I think I've seen, but it'd be interesting to see what the newer ones are like, if the newer ones have changed anything, or...
I would guess they're pretty similar. That's just me. I don't actually know. We haven't seen the newer one or the other blue box version either.
We did have the original blue box version years ago, but...
Many years ago, yeah. If you enjoyed watching this video, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comment section down below if you maybe have one of those other versions, the old blue box or the newer
Let us know
re-release.
if there's anything really big changes or if they're still sort of pretty much the same sort of thing.
Maybe they just reprinted it and it's just been released 3 times. I'm not sure. Hit that subscribe button and check back soon. We have videos every single Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.